Hey, I'm Jared Whitman, and I'm here with John Russell, and this is The Pursuit of Being a Stand-Up Leader. On this episode, we're going to talk about competition. And a good question is, who are your competitors? I was just actually talking to a new customer. I asked them, hey, who are your competitors? And they listed off about 5 or 6 different competitors, and then it was a little wishy-washy.
Right.
But one of the things that I'm going to do with them is do a SWOT analysis. I think this is a great way to differentiate yourself from your competition and then build a map on how you can outmarket and outdo a lot of the things that the competition might or might not be doing to make sure that you stand differently, stand aside, or stand above the competition.
So SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats.
Yeah.
It's a fun exercise.
It can be.
And, well, you really need to kind of know where you're at with competition. If you're in a position, I'll use sales, marketing, or advertising, or leadership, being a manager, vice president, general manager. You really need to have a handle on who you're competing against, because when it comes down to it, if a company is looking at your business to sign a contract and looking at one or two of your competitors to sign a contract, what is it about your offering and your proposals that are so significantly better than your competitors that your prospect's going to sign a long-term contract with you?
Yeah. I would even, like, if we deconstructed what you just said and take out prospect and put in customer, if you're in a B2C, like a home service company, how are you providing your customers with a next level white glove experience that your competition probably isn't?
Yeah, that is a really good point. It separates the great from the average.
Yeah.
In the book, we talk about things that we need to ask. How are we different than them? Mm-hmm. Isn't that pretty simple?
Yeah.
What are they doing that makes them so successful?
Right.
Why are they kicking our butt and we're losing to them when we go up against them in a proposal situation? I like to suggest to some of my clients that it's a fun exercise to have a group assignment where you get the group together and assign a competitor to teams of people, teams of 2, and they go out and do a full SWOT analysis on a competitor, and then you get different people doing different research and analysis on different competitors, and then they come back and can report into the group what they found out. So, what are our competitors doing that we're not? What are our competitors doing that we should be doing? And how does our competition position themselves against us, just positioning? Mm-hmm. Have you lost any sales recently to a competitor? Do you know why your prospect choose them over you? Does it matter? Do you care? What's your unique selling proposition? It's kind of a cliche, but I like to think of it in other terms. What's your point of differentiation?
Right.
What's the one thing that separates you from the rest?
Yeah.
What is your competitive advantage?
Yeah.
What are you doing to communicate to your prospects and customers why they should continue doing business with you? We always talked about building a wall of service around a customer. And that means being there week in and week out, FaceTime, follow-up, letters, phone calls, information, competitive studies. We used to do competitive studies for our clients, and it wasn't even our business.
Interesting.
Because guess who they turn to when they have a question about what's going on in the market?
Right.
The people that are really highly educated about the competition.
Keeping your brand top of mind in the customer. I like optimizing marketing budgets to differentiate marketing strategies and tactics across all these different tactics and channels to keep the brand in front of the customer and keep serving them valuable information, whether it's about information that they don't know or if it's just a handwritten thank you. What type of companies are sending out handwritten thank yous after doing
Not
business. Not many
It's
at
hard.
all. Well,
It takes time.
it takes a little time to get into that process, but once you develop a system to move forward with that process, then it's a lot easier to do.
So commodity product categories make it hard to differentiate your products or services beyond price. Printing is an example. If you're a print house, there's probably 20 printers in the city.
Right.
And one time I was doing a training program for a new salesperson for one of my clients who was a printing company. And she said, all printers are alike. Color or black and white. You want an 8.5 by 11 or 4 by 8? Do you want it glossy or do you want it matte colored or, finish? And she said, I can't understand what our competitive advantage is. What I had to explain to her was it was her.
Right.
She was the advantage. She was the competitive advantage. She was the point of differentiation. How she attended to clients, how she appeared. Was she positive? Was she upbeat? Did she come in with new information? Was she consistent? Was she honest and forthright? Did she deliver her promises on time? That's the brand.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's your people that make the difference. And that's why training is so important.
I think even when employees have their own brands that complement your brand as a whole,
Right.
I think that scares some some leaders and businesses.
Because they're strong.
Yeah. It's a strong employee, right? That has a personal brand that might be growing.
Yeah.
That's not a threat to your company.
Right.
It's
an advantage.
It's an advantage. It's an opportunity.
It is.
It's a strength to your company when your people bring their values, their benefits, their strengths.
Those are high performers.
Yeah, to the table. Yeah, that's someone you want on your bench.
Yeah, and you want to make sure that they're given all the tools, including knowledge of the competition.
Yeah.
So my advice, this is a fairly simple subject. Study your competition. Know what they believe is their unique selling proposition and their point of differentiation. How can you find that out? Go to their website. Read the first paragraph. It's not real hard. You might be able to ascertain a little bit off of the various employees' LinkedIn pages. And if the company has a LinkedIn page, I guarantee you they're going to put right out in front of everybody what they think their strength is.
Yep.
So develop your own competitive advantage that is focused on customer satisfaction and not just the price.
Right.
If you're winning on price alone, realize that it can be taken away at any given moment when somebody decides to undercut your price.
Yep.
It happens all the time.
I think that I read a book called Unreasonable Hospitality, and it was about how the details matter. And so some of the things that I brought to the table at my last company was a customer gift. This was for our maintenance plan members. I sent them Oreos,
Great
fudge
idea.
dipped,
Totally different.
company branded Oreos,
Bacon wrapped?
out of the blue. No, they weren't bacon wrapped, but they were branded to the company, and they got a 4-pack. They got a thank you card, and there was no selling point. It was, hey, thank you for being a part of our maintenance plan membership.
Just like that.
Thank you for being part of our family.
Right.
And
How cool is that?
the interactions that we saw online on social media sites,
They liked it?
hey, our HVAC company just sent us cookies, and someone replied, our HVAC company sent us a bill. So I mean, that is a differentiator that really I actually won the company won an award for that idea, which was fantastic.
Yeah. Something simple. It didn't cost a lot of money.
Correct. Well, it was I found it doesn't, the money doesn't matter.
Yeah, well,
because,
what's a pack of Oreos cost?
Well, it was $27.99 for a 4-pack.
That sounds like a lot of cookies.
So it was 12,000 cookies.
No, I'm just talking about per customer.
4-pack per customer. But still, if you look at what is a $25 gift total versus how many years that
For life.
customer's been there, right?
How much is it worth?
Well, I did the math, and it's a hell of a lot of money. So it made sense to spend what we spent on this gift.
It was an inexpensive gift, even though it was an investment,
right,
on the company's part.
But that is a small detail that is unique and different that sets your company apart from the competition.
It's an easy thing to execute.
Yes.
So one of the things I noted in the book, page 42, be able to justify your price when you're not the low price leader. Mm-hmm. How are you going to do that? How are you going to justify and rationalize the fact that your product costs 25% more than the other guys, and it's the same thing?
Right. Well, I think you look at all the components, and you build the value that your company has, because when the value outweighs the price, there's it's quality. You're always gonna get what you pay for, right? That
the anticipated value is a cool way of thinking about it. Yeah. It's hard to wrap your mind around that, but consumers have an anticipated value. They're going to get something out of it, and they don't even know what it is.
Right.
So what's interesting to me is that this is just another way to build a relationship with a customer, and value gets established from the very first phone call. Mm-hmm. How they're treated on the introduction call.
Every interaction that a customer has with someone who's wearing your brand,
how you follow up with them,
everything,
how you present your proposal,
goes into marketing.
How you prepare and set up the contract,
brand awareness,
how you set up the terms for payment and billing,
all that,
how you follow up to schedule service, how you show up early on time the day you promised.
How do you leave the work area if you're a home service company?
That's value.
Do you leave it a mess?
Right.
Do you let the customer clean up after you, or do you take the time to move things back into place? Do you take
leave
the
it
time,
better than you found it?
Yeah. Do you take the time to, hey, I see a light bulb's out. Can I change that for you?
Not many people have that level of awareness.
How much of an impact could you have on a customer?
I've seen things like that happen, and they are absolutely game changers.
Yeah.
And customers become instantly loyal for life. They're never leaving.
100%.
If they feel like you've treated them like family.
Yeah.
And that you're caring for them. We talked about customer care.
Yep.
It's all part of this process, and there's a way to beat your competition every time.
Yep.
Even if you're the most expensive, even if you may not have the best product in the market, it's all about how you take those customers through the buying process and treat them, and how you treat them going forward as a customer for life.
And then continue to treat them and continue to interact with them and continue to cultivate that relationship again and again and again. Your repeat customers are your easiest customers to sell to because they have done business with you.
Right.
So doing marketing to them to make sure that you're in front of that customer.
Here's the last thing I'm going to say about this competition. This is really important, is realize that your competition is always trying to get your customers. Mm-hmm. So most companies will get a new customer and they're like, check.
Right.
We got them.
Yeah.
They're good. On to the next one.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, I'm going to put that customer into a recurring service system. I know that Salesforce has that. A lot of these sales CRMs have that. Yeah. What is your customer maintenance plan? Because if you don't build a wall of service around your customer, the competition is going to be knocking on their door. It happens all the time. You don't see them. You don't know when they're coming around, but they're coming after your business, especially if you're the leader in the category.
Right.
I've been in that position. Everybody's shooting at you.
Yep.
They all want you to fall because they want to come in and pick up whatever you can't deal with.
Yep.
And if you're a great company and you're a stand-up leader, competition is on your mind. Your people understand the competitors. You understand how they position themselves, and you know where you stand in the market as it relates to your points of differentiation, your competitive advantage, the things that separate you from the average.
Yep.
And that's really, I'm not interested in being average. If you're going to be a stand-up leader, you want to be above the average and you want to be climbing.
Right.
And that's the way I see it. I think it can be done. I don't think it's difficult, but it requires some discipline to put competition on the table as a topic for your staff and your entire operation.
I agree with that 100%. I don't have anything to add.
That covers it. Competition is there. Take them serious. Understand where they're at and understand what makes your business different. And then go for it. Apply the strategies to move your business ahead, to give your people an advantage so that they can win more deals. Thanks for being with us today.